Hello, everybody, and welcome to 3 Points of Light. Tonight was just supposed to be a quiet night because it's Easter Sunday, and I didn't really plan on having a guest. I figured because most people would be having Easter dinner with their family or some kind of celebration. But then yesterday morning, I woke up to a very lovely text message going, "It's bank holiday on Monday, so I'm okay to do your show." I was like, yes, because I guess tonight is Sarah May. And I'm guessing you have a regular day job on Monday through Friday type of thing. So staying up late in the UK, remember this is 11:30 to 1:30. In the UK, it's a little late, past most people's bedtime, including mine. So it took a while, but the bank decided to have a holiday. So welcome, Sarah May.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I've got a couple of kids that live at home with me and obviously have to get up early for school with them. But on Monday and a Tuesday, I do have a regular job, which makes me feel normal. Because obviously when you're working with Spirit, you're kind of half in heaven and half on earth. So having a normal job I love. But it's just something I'm self-employed with it. And it's basically working in a builder's cafe on a new building site, which is a new pilot, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
So what do you do at the Builders Cafe?
I make sausages and bacon, and I serve food to the lads. And then I could breed to themselves, they are, honestly. So, but I've only really been doing it for a month because somebody asked me to help them. A guy I know started up his own business, and he said, "Would you help?" And I said, "Yeah, go on then. I'll give it a go." And that's it, and I love it.
It's fun. It makes
normal work. Chunk of bacon, Betsy. Eric, do you want brown sauce or red? But type faster, Eric.
There's a little delay. Hell yeah, brown sauce. Okay, now wait a second. I know what brown sauce is. I finally figured it out. It's H1 sauce for the Canadians and the Americans. Okay, HP sauce or H1.
Yeah.
HP. Okay. Now, what is the red sauce?
Horrible stuff. It's
ketchup?
Sugar. Get ketchup, yeah.
Okay. Who would put ketchup on a bacon sandwich?
Oh, the British do.
Oh, that's nasty.
British like ketchup.
That's
I'm going to say brown sauce is more popular than the red.
Okay. Like I said, a friend of mine has explained a few things to me, and I figured out what brown sauce is. Because when she fixes her Reiki master, when he comes over, and she fixes him a bacon sarnie, which is a new word for me, he always says brown sauce on it. I'm going, what the heck is brown sauce? I'm thinking gravy. That's, and then they showed me a picture of the bottle. I went, I know what that is. That's HP sauce. Yes. That's one of the things about this show is I get to learn new languages. Learned a new one couple of weeks ago. Was it tush? When a tush is a bottom.
Oh, tush, yeah, the tush.
And we were told that tush, I think it was tush or tushy, was another word over in the UK.
Yeah.
I was like, no. My co-host Jenny said she had a pain in her tush, and that sort of set the whole chat room laughing. And it was like, explain to me, and nobody wanted to say what the word was. And then they sort of went all around the thing. I went, oh, and poor Jennifer, she wasn't on camera, but I'm sure she was turning red and every shade of, I don't know, pink that you could think of. But,
well, we don't use tush in Australia. We just say the word, get off your ass.
It took us all kinds of ways to say it, but now tush is banned. Anyway, well, like I said, this is a non-schedule, so not that anything really gets scheduled around here, but everybody knows I have to go to the beginning. One of my co-hosts is Jennifer's Journey, and at the moment, she is hopefully celebrating Easter dinner with her family and having a grand old time, and not eating all the chocolate, saving a few to bring home so she can share with us when she gets here. And then we have the ever lovable, sweet, and adorable Brian-Clover. Say hey, Brian.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, Brian.
And I guess tonight again is Sarah May. Now, it's not going to be a regular everyday show like you guys do on Blog Talk, because you have a show on Blog Talk with, I'm really no good at last names. So Ray
Bokor.
Okay, so it is what it is. I always think I pronounce it wrong. So you have a talk show, a weekly talk show with Ray Bokor on Blog Talk Radio.
Yep.
How long have you guys been doing that show together?
3 years.
3 years. That's good.
Yeah.
And how do you and Ray live in the same area? Because he's going to be a guest on this show. He had a mishap, so he missed it. So we're going to talk about him tonight. So how
I
did you
say to him, why don't you come in? Ray and I worked together on an internet site. Not together, kind of. I was teaching online on an online site. Okay. And Ray was on there as well, and that's how we met. So all via webcam, all via chat rooms, many years ago. We've never actually met Ray, would you believe?
Never. The way you two get along on the show, I would say that you've met at least a couple of times and had a good time. But,
no, we're just close friends, very good friends, trust him implicitly, very genuine, and that's why we've stuck together for so long. We go in there, we're just girl next door, boy next door.
Exactly. Like you're like best buds. And it's like you've known each other for so long that the connection, the flow is just so simple. So like I said, I thought, but yeah, it's true. You meet a lot of people as weird. They had a good time. You meet a lot of people online, and some you kind of sit back and wonder, and others it just sort of clicks. I have a few good friends here that I would never have met if it weren't because, I have friends in the UK and in Australia, and my very, very, very best friend, sorry everybody, is in Trinidad. Aside the fact that I love her dearly, she has always said that when I retire, I can go to Trinidad. They have no snow there. I have enough snow, and I'm like, So that's why she's my best friend, because she's allowing me to come retire in Trinidad, where I will never see snow again.
Yeah, beautiful. I hate snow.
I know. I hate it.
I think it's funny how people who don't get to see it really want to see it, and then when they see it, they never want to see it again.
Because it stops everything in England. If it snows, everything closes down, and we're just not equipped for it at all. So
it's nice to be lost here.
You're used to it, aren't you? So
yeah, no.
No?
I don't think you can ever get used to it. Well, because you guys get this much snow and you freak out. We get this much snow and that's a regular day, And for those who can't see me, it's about 1.5 feet sometimes.
So
I usually put pictures up on Facebook, when I have a snowstorm, and it's like, see what I have to clean up?
Why should you want to bother? The cold alone would be enough to wipe me out, I can tell you.
Well, I kind of have no choice. I was born here. My parents decided this is where they wanted to keep us, in the cold, chilly north. But spring and fall are my favorite here, so I have no complaints about that. Summer, I'm a redhead, so 5 minutes in the sun, I look like a cooked lobster. So, thank you.
I don't like the sun either, Darlene. I don't like being hot and bothered and in the sun, so I don't think I'd cope in Australia there, Jeff. No, you're not Jeff, you're Brian.
Brian, yeah.
I'm trying.
25°C, mate, that's just about my normal, I'll put up with it, temperature. We go up to 40, 42, 45, all that sort of thing, and that I can well live with. I had a welding job, and I used to be out in the sun welding in the heat of the day, and I lost 3 kilos one day just in perspiration alone.
Ooh, I say.
Oh, admit it, Brian. You just will talk to Pauline and ask.
Yeah, Christy knows why my webcam picture is green. It's because I'm a healer. I always joke when I do Skype readings, and I always say I'm a witch, which I'm not. But it gives a good ambiance.
What is your forte, Sarah? What do you?
I am a psychic medium. I was born with mediumship, so that's basically what I am. But I teach, and I'm a healer. I think all true gifted, well, I won't say gifted, all mediums are healers, and I think that's what we're here for. Yeah, we're here to communicate.
Everybody is a healer, to be honest. It's just a matter of, I've been doing it since I was 8 years old, and it's one of the loves of my life.
Yeah.
I keep trying to heal Darlene, but it doesn't work.
Nobody can heal what's wrong with me.
No.
Perfection is just not too good. The boys, Brian is nervous. He always gets nervous with me because I'm the only one who has the ability to kick his butt out of the room. And I did it to him once, only once. Because I had to test the ability. So I just sort of like dangled it over his head like a carrot over a rabbit, going, behave or else.
I like it.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a lovely show.
Figure out a way to keep him in line.
Yes, boss.
That's the thing about Ray and myself. He can say and do anything, and I can't get at him. And we just argue because we hate each other's music. I noticed there's a big difference in he'll start moaning. Oh, because I like dance music and love songs and plus some of the old stuff. And he just plays some weird stuff. I don't even know where he gets it from.
I've been in your show a few times. That's okay. Too bad, Ray. I'll complain all the time. I've been in your chat room a few times, and I can tell whose music is playing because Ray's kind of makes me go, what the heck? And yours will get me dancing in the chair, and I'll be like, okay, it's Sarah music. Yeah. That's one thing I miss about here is I haven't figured out yet how to play music, so we just sort of chatter on. I had a guest on once who actually played his guitar, and it wasn't even a guitar. It was my cousin, and it was like a guitar. It was 12 strings, 8 strings. It was weird but amazing. So we had music that day.
Because he was sat physically doing it.
Yeah, so, because I sort of said, you have no choice.
I'm not going to sing for you, darling. You'd have the show closed there.
Well, we're not going to have anybody else in the chat room that I know of sing because I heard Mr. Glynn on one of his rock Facebook lives singing.
Oh, don't ask him to sing, please.
And yes,
if I click the auto contrast on my webcam settings, it will stop the green. I need to find that, Eric.
Okay. Eric, can you help Sarah? What we'll do is we'll just take out. Oh God, no.
No, Raven, I wouldn't do that, love.
I have the hounds in my country screaming.
No, my little puppy's asleep behind me, and I don't want to wake him up. He gets quite frightened at times.
It's okay. All of a sudden we'll hear boom, and Pauline will have thrown something at you and hit you, and you'll be out of life.
No, she's still in bed.
Yeah, but if you started singing, she wouldn't be.
This is true. Oh, behave, mate. Otherwise, I'll get Kath to come down and give you a thumping.
Oh God, it's funny.
It's all about violence.
Yes, this is a great show. We have the wives beating up on the husbands. This is an awesome show. Yay!
Threatening everybody. Oh dear. Kicking out the Z's. What is it about these ladies managing to get some sleep?
Because they're not at my show. I get the husbands and
you get the husbands. All the wives are in bed.
That's right. I make sure they all behave themselves, keep them in line.
Now, Pauline's got another 2 hours yet before she arises. She likes sleeping in, so just let her. I mean, we're retired now. What the hell?
Oh yeah. Are you 10 hours ahead, Brian?
Of who?
Me, England.
Yes.
Yeah.
It works out almost 24 hours between us and Darlene.
Well, right now my local time is 6:46 p.m. Sunday.
Yeah, well, mine's 8:16 a.m. Monday. So.
Funny, isn't it? I'm 11:46.
Yeah.
Sunday, soon coming into Monday.
Yeah, we have people from all time zones in here.
Yeah.
Jennifer's journey is 1 hour behind me.
Yeah.
Hers like for, so I had, when we programmed this show, when I got Brian and Jennifer to agree to do the show, we had to work on a time zone, because when I first had the show, it was in the early afternoons for me, but it was like 3 o'clock in the morning for Brian, and he missed a few shows. He said, okay, this is not working. I said, so let's change the time. So we do it early enough in the morning that it doesn't bother Pauline, hearing him giggle and laugh and be his normal self.
Oh no, she's up the other end of the house. She wouldn't hear me anyway.
There you go. Well, she started singing, and for me, my husband has just gone to work, so I have peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Poor Terry, working today.
It's Sunday. We don't have children anymore. My children are grown up and gone away, and the youngest is off with his friend, his female friend. They're not dating, they're seeing each other and they're friends. Okay? Let's not rush this.
I'll not go down that track, kid. I'll keep him well away.
Yeah. And my eldest son is out in London, Ontario, and my daughter is in Montreal. So it's like just me and Dad and the furry dog and the furry cat. And so when Dad goes out, it's like, peaceful, quiet. I can sing as loud as I want and nobody complains. Okay, well, Onyx just ran from the room, so I'll have to take that back. Onyx is my dog. He's having a good time because the cat is not bothering him, so. Whoops, I just lost you. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to... No, there's no dragon. I've taken the dragon away from Onyx. My dog is a Shih Tzu puppy. He's about 5 months old, and we had a stuffed toy. It's a little dragon. And he was getting frisky, shall we say.
Amorous is the word.
and being doing his best to get amorous. Yes, Onyx loves his dragon. And I separated them one day put the dragon on the outside of the door, and I have a child gate, and it's like plastic so they can see each other. So Onyx the dog was sitting on one side and the dragon was sitting on the other side, and it looked like they were looking at each other. And these naughty dogs and naughty dragon.
It's only natural.
Not for a dog and a dragon, especially when they can't defend themselves.
It's a dog and anything that's fluffy, believe me. My mum was the same. Oh, my mum, Al was a teddy bear. And believe me, that he used to drag it around everywhere, and the things he used to do with it were...
Oh, no.
Absolutely unreal.
Our animals. And then I have a bright orange cat who is the master of his domain. He likes the dog. He puts up the dog, because the cat is like 5 years old, and the dog is like, new. We just got Onyx. No, I'm not giving Onyx a penguin. He's got a dragon fetish. I'm not giving him a penguin.
Behave, Eric.
Eric, behave? Wait a minute. Is this Eric Lynn, the same one that I know? Just doesn't behave. Okay. So when did you first connect with spirit?
Ooh, I think I was doing it from a very early age, but I didn't realise. I just was playing on my own, had my own imaginary friends. I used to see faces in the wall. My mum used to have the tea leaf lady round, and they'd sit in the kitchen, and I'd be looking in the cups at a very young age and giving messages, seeing the pictures and the names, and they'd kick me out the kitchen. So, Sarah, get out. Like, didn't know what I was doing, but I just was reading the tea cups very, very young. And they physically, the reason why I know I had it when I was younger is because they physically took me over in my 20s, and I was scared. I was just falling to sleep in bed and had a massive buzzing in my third eye. I wasn't spiritual. I didn't know anything about spiritual at all. and it like was, and I was like, oh my god, help, screaming, and then click, I felt the click, and there was like a tunnel in here, and there was a lady, a real life lady, I wouldn't say in my head, holding a rose, and I kind of, my fella at the time, I've had two major relationships, but this one, I've got to say, was a bit of a plank, so I couldn't tell him much. And the next day, his sister came round to the house and said, would you like to go to Spiritualist Church on Sunday? And I said, what's that? And she said, just come along. And I said, okay then. So I went and sat in the front row of the audience, and the lady on the podium, I recognised her as one of my mum's friends, and my mum was in spirit. And I was thinking, oh my God, that's, oh my God, I'm just going to hide. Don't, and I didn't want anybody to come to me, but she did come to me. And she told me what had happened in great detail. And I thought, how did she know that? Mm-hmm. And she said, you've got a gift, you need to develop it. And that Tuesday I started in the development group at a place called Hall Green Spiritualist Church. And I was there for 2 years, every Tuesday. But on my first day, the way the lady worked, I don't work this way, was she would open up your chakras and lift your energy up to work with the spirit world. And the way you would envisage it was a door and a handle. So you'd open the door and the colour would come in. I didn't know what any of this was. The lady actually was quite a shouty lady, and I thought, she's shouting a bit. She's a bit kind of, oh my God, she's not supposed to be learning, how to do things. She's shouting at people. But every single colour I got, every single one, before she gave it to me, it was given to me, and it came to me, towards me, all the 7 chakra colours. And I thought, never mind you, lady, I've got something here, because how did I know all of those 7 colours? How would I know? And that was the start of all of it, many, many, many years ago. And then you leave it, and you kind of, there's fallout in the church, as there often is in churches. And I was very incensed because they treated the guy who taught me, he took over from his wife, very badly. They had him on stage. You'd never seen so many people turn up in your life. The congregation was usually half full. They'd accused them of stealing money. I don't know whether they did or don't know whether they didn't, but I don't judge people, and I care about people. And that turned me against the church, and I never, ever set foot in a church again to work, apart from the odd one where I was asked to do it. So I kind of went my own way.
It's the same thing here, to be honest. I started going to a church locally in Adelaide, and I was doing some healing, and I picked up from this lady something nasty was happening to her, and I couldn't understand it. So I went to see the people who were running the church and told them, flattened by them. They told me that I was, making up stories, and and it turns out I'm a telepath. And consequently, the lady that I was reading at the time, I spoke to her probably about 6 weeks afterwards, and she says exactly, that's exactly what's happened to me. And I actually picked up what she was saying, or what she was thinking. And as I say, I've been back to the church once because a special favourite of mine was doing some readings there, and that's the only time. That was 5 years ago. So you don't do that.
I do go to the church, but I go to see the mediums. But I think I think mediums are used and abused, really. They go and they bring in the congregation. Let's not lie. The reason why people go is because they want messages. Bring in the congregation, and they hardly get anything for it. So it's something I wouldn't really go towards doing. But I've got a lot of respect for them. I know a lot of people that work in the churches. It's just where you get groups of people, you get trouble. There's always going to be somebody who's going to interfere, and just a natural way that people are. And you've got to gravitate, find your own tribe, find the right people who are on the same wavelength as you, which to me is people that wouldn't control, people that are easy flowing.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. So I choose the people that are around me, not because I think I'm special, but because I want all the good energy around me, and I want to feel happy and secure. So that was that, really.
Well, I think that's still kind of special because you get to choose, everybody doesn't realize how they, what they want. Some people just, without realizing, follow. So, but choosing, being able to know that, it's not what you want and choosing what you want, I think that's special. So for that, yes, you're special. and Jeff in the chat room and Eric both have, I know Eric works churches. I don't think he works one particular church. He does quite a few different ones. And I think, but there are both experiences, good and bad, both churches and I'm guessing mediums. I've only been to one spiritual church event, and that was right here. Eric Glynn did one so that I could actually know what it was like. It was interesting. I've never been to one, so I was like, oh, nice.
Yes, yeah. There's churches I go to. There's mediums I have a lot of respect for. So it's just not my thing. But what had happened, somewhere along the line, I kind of come out of a relationship, went into another one and came out of that relationship, both 2 long-term relationships. And the second one, I had my own bookkeeping business, and I kind of thought, do you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. And I was having a major divorce, a shock, very, very shock. It wasn't expected. And I gave the people that I was employed by, because I was working for a company at the time, a week and left. And then I started doing my spiritual work, and I became full-time on the phone lines, which is where my name came from, because when I passed the test, they asked me what my name was, and I said Sarah. No, you can't have Sarah. I said, oh, no. I'm not having anything silly like fluffy unicorns and sparkly twinkle toe fairies. I'm just Sarah, please. You can't? So I said, but I can. And they're all, no, because there's another Sarah.
How about the butterfly lady then?
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, I had to think on my feet.
There actually is one.
I don't know.
I like butterflies. I do love butterflies. But I'm thought on my feet, and I got, my mum is Mary, and she was born in May. So I thought, Sarah May, that'll do. It was almost like ping, and I knew that would be my working name. And that was it. Did the phone lines, ended up on the television. I did a couple of Sky television shows regularly, where I was presenting and doing the readings, and came away from those. And I've done audiences. Now, the big thing for me at the moment, because it changes all the time, is teaching. I'm teaching up to 20 people a week.
What are you teaching?
Mediumship.
Okay.
So I do it my way, and I say to them, you probably won't be taught like this by anybody else, but you'll feel very free with the way that you work. There won't be any fear-based teaching, no tutting, no you shouldn't do this and no you shouldn't do that, apart from one rule: be very considerate when you're giving a reading of the person who's receiving it, and just don't upset anybody or hurt anybody or harm anybody with your wording. That's my only rule.
It's a good rule because it's common sense. So yeah. So okay, as a teacher, have you ever had a student who really wanted to do mediumship and like, I don't know which, you can't really say the mind was it, but like they had their heart set on it, but they couldn't really do it. They could do a little bit, but they could, do you know what I'm saying? Not like,
no.
They thought they could do it better than they actually could do it. Not that they were saying they were bad, but just,
years ago, I had one lady in my group who lost her son at the age of 10. And I know she was coming because she really just needed to be in that energy every week. And every week she got nothing. What you got? Nothing. Did you see any colours? No. So I kind of just let her get on with it. That was years ago. And I stopped teaching because people, it doesn't happen to me now, But people can kind of become above themselves and try and take over.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very busy on the television and I didn't have time to do the groups. So I said to them, you're going to have to wait until this spell is finished. I'm just putting it on hold for now.
Mm-hmm.
And while I put it on hold, they'd all gone in secret behind my back and tried to take over and appointed somebody to run it who had never done a one-to-one reading with anybody. So they'd never worked in the energy. So I kind of thought, do you know what? People along my line have always tried to put me down or take over or use me. So that I vowed I'd never teach again. So I had some premises local to where I live now, and I hired rooms out. And a lot of people were asking me, "Will you teach me?" And I was like, "No, not teaching." So I gave the people to somebody else, and had them come and hire the room. That turned pear-shaped because she did the dirty on me and took them. And that was that. And I don't know how I got into it again. I don't know. I must have put something on Facebook. And from getting one group together, it's now mushroomed and I do 3 groups. Wednesday morning, Thursday evening and a Sunday. And the Thursday evening group has been with me for nearly 4 years.
And is this all on Facebook or actually in-house?
They come to me. We basically come to my room and I teach in the room. Now, you're saying, does anybody come to me that kind of doesn't connect? No. I will only teach mediums. I'm only going to teach people who've actually got the gift.
Okay. And so you'll know when somebody comes to you and say, I'd like to learn to become a medium, that the person doesn't have it, doesn't have the whole aspect, but your aspect, what you want to teach, they can't, that they can't. Have you ever had the point where you have to turn somebody away?
Yeah, I don't turn them away, I just have full groups.
Okay.
It's better that way.
Yeah.
If you say to somebody, well, you haven't got it, they're really going to have a problem. I recognise mediums. I see my like-minded people. Most of them are humble and don't think they can do it. Most of them rip themselves apart and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't. Is it me? Is it, And it's not until the confidence kicks in and they feel in a safe environment and everything's very positive for them. Mm-hmm. And I stretch them, I pull them, I would make them work hard. And they can sit there and I can say, I want this and I want that. And they're like, I can see their faces changing. Oh, she's doing it again. And then you see them come out with it and then you see that they've got it spot on. And the look on their faces, I wished I had a camera because it's like, they're like that. And I laugh my socks off.
Okay.
Because they've got to go through the process and I allow them to go through that process. They're absolutely amazing people. Beautiful groups of people.
Eric in the chat room says, Sarah, is the purpose of your group to teach mediumship or to teach spirit connection?
It's everything. Mediumship is spirit connection. It's psychic ability, it's mediumship ability, it's healing, it's every tool you have in your bag. And I will give them whatever tools they need in order to do it. I work on a basis of we don't protect ourselves. Nobody in my groups will protect themselves because there's nothing they can't manage and nothing they can't handle. And years ago, I've always done a lot of rescue work. I do house clearances and people, mediums or some people put fear in and it's not there. Their rescue is a spirit that hasn't gone up into the spirit world. It's a person that's passed and they're stuck. So they can create moods and they can affect you quite badly.
Okay.
But people will say it's a poltergeist. I have never seen a poltergeist in my life. I have never seen a demon in my life. Where does it come from? It's fear teaching because people don't know what they're doing.
Don't believe in hell. You don't believe in all the rubbish that they put out.
Hell is your fear within. You create your hell.
Exactly.
You manifest it. And so it's kind of debunking a lot of the stuff that people have been taught. I've done many ghost hunts as well. I've hosted ghost hunts, and when I go into the buildings, do I pick up the historical data? Very, very rarely.
Mm-hmm.
I usually pick up the spirits of the people that come to the ghost hunt, their family, in great detail, with EVP, with so much kind of the lights going. I vowed I'd never do a ghost hunt because I thought they took the mickey out of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
I did one for a friend and I was hooked. So never say never. But the reason why I was hooked is because of the whole experience of everybody together. And it wasn't just the medium proving things. Tables were moving, voices were coming on EVPs, backup validation was coming via me, the medium. And you felt the presence of those family members there, and they were saying, we are here. And that's what the medium's about. The medium's about communicating, it's about channeling, and it's about kind of healing. It's predominantly healing. That's that. But I also do a lot of meditation work. I channel meditations and I record them, and I work with government here. With a lady doing push on wellbeing sessions where the government funds it and the groups of people come in and we do dancing, which is Strictly Come Dancing, if you've seen that.
Okay, yeah.
So Reza kind of asked me, will you do meditation? I'll teach the dance. And I have groups of people sat just mesmerised and comatose because we're using the mind in a creative, magical way, and we're coming out of the depressive state, out of the, this has happened to me, that has happened to me, I'm stuck, I'm not going anywhere. And we use tools in the meditations to kind of show people ways of opening themselves up, and a lot of them come alive. We've had some major, one lady wouldn't leave her house. She had major anxiety. And now she is thriving. And to see them, it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, Jennifer's journey's in the house,
Hi,
but
Jennifer.
she doesn't have her mic on yet. First off, we're going to talk after the show on Skype about your meditations. I need to talk to you about that. So you do mediumship. You do meditations. You do house clearings. You do healing. Is there anything you don't do?
No. And when I teach, one lad was with me for 3 weeks and he said, when are we going to be like you? I said, you know what?
3 weeks? Oh, yeah. Gee.
I said, you better button up your seatbelt because it's going to take a little while. But you'll enjoy your group every week and you'll dance up the stairs to come here because you'll love being with like-minded people in the crazy land, away from the normal people, you know, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. That's all you need to do.
Raven in the chat room asked, do you teach house clearing?
Well, it's natural, to be honest with you, Raven. Yes, I do within the groups. I teach them every aspect so that they are kind of prepared. 2 of them have been depressed over the past 2 weeks because they had a rescue with them. So the one, I went to her house and I cleared the house. I told her what to do. And then the second one, I just did it over the phone. So I can, what we call remote view. I will remote view somebody's home, and in my mind I will go into every room and they will walk around the telephone and I will say, just going in here, I can see this, I can see that. And I'll tell them items that are in the room or energies that are in the room. And when I pick up on the energy, I try and work out, is it, who is it, why they're there. Anybody that thinks they can clear a spirit with a stick of sage, just don't get it. It's just a smell. They're intelligent beings. You know, they need you to communicate with them. They don't know they're stuck. So it's about finding out why they're stuck. And then all we do is we send them up an escalator to the light. And then I'll cleanse the house, and I usually put a power animal at the front door, whatever the guest chooses, a bear, a wolf, whatever they choose. Somebody chose an owl the other day. And then I put a power animal on the back of the house, and then I have an eagle which flies above. Always put an eagle above, because the eagle will see near and far. And I've done an amazing meditation called The Wolf and the Eagle, one of my favourites. And it's lovely, really lovely. So, but I use things like rose petals, all lovely things, nothing kind of macabre or scary. So yes, because the groups do that. And I teach the groups to remote view. When I teach them mediumship, I'll say, stand up. I want you to remote view. I want you to talk to somebody in spirit. I want you to, when you work as a medium, they don't just come to you. You have to work it. You don't just sit there, waiting for something to come in. Yes, it is going to come in, but they need you to be on their vibration to talk to them. And some of them are clear talkers, clear communicators, and others struggle.
Okay, I think we've had a lot of people come in late, but hey, better late than never. And for some reason, Jennifer's journey's here, but Jennifer doesn't have her microphone on. So I saw something about she ate too much Easter dinner.
Uh-oh.
Did you bring any home for us? We were waiting. Jeez, chocolate. I'm not bringing out my chocolates. I'm being nice. If I didn't have enough to share, I can't eat it. Because Brian won't stop complaining. Oh, Raven. See, Raven even cooking us cake.
Wow.
Has there been... okay, now I know somebody had a question on me before. Sarah, do you teach trance?
Did trance today. Did do trance today. I don't do, funny enough, I was actually saying to Ray earlier, we did transfiguration, which is in the room of my group today. We all sat in one particular chair and you close your eyes and the others observe. And when they observe, they'll see you changing, your face changing. They'll see you becoming somebody else. So it is then for the group to say, I can see this, I can see that. And when they're commonly seeing the same thing, it's proving that it must be correct. Years and years and years ago, we used to use red lights. And I know it's usually used in the Amsterdam regions. The ladies of the night. But
well, in this case, it'd be the boys of the night.
So, because the ladies are asleep. If you get a red bulb and put it in a lamp and you put it in front of the person that's sitting, which I haven't done yet myself with any of my groups, because I like to keep it as natural as possible, you'll see it better. And that's what we're going to try next week.
So
full
why
mediumship.
Oh,
really
okay.
don't know. It's just something I used to do when I sat at Hall Green Church. We used the red light and we became a physical circle. So we would sit in pitch black and we had to sing. Now I can't sing. And we sang to raise the vibration and we would bring then the spirit through. Fair play to the people that taught me at Hall Green, John and Pat Morby. John particularly, I loved to bits. Yes, I had a good relationship with Pat, but John and I were major gigglers. You can't get by without a giggle. So full trance and transfiguration, ectoplasm, not really into that, although I do respect the people that do it. Don't see the point. But that's only me.
Well, in a few weeks, we're going to have Eric, Glenn, and Michael Dag, if I can remember his last name, coming on, and we're going to have a show. They're going to be talking about their grandmothers. Two very interesting ladies, and I know Michael Rogers. Sorry, thank you, Eric. And the rest of us are just going to sit back and listen because I've heard a few stories about Eric's grandmother, and it seems Michael's grandmother is got a lot of stories to be told about her as well. So it's going to be interesting, and I believe, if I remember correctly, Eric's gran used to do ectoplasm and all that thing. That's why Michael's gran was Jean Duncan.
Oh, lovely.
But, so that they're going to be.
Yeah.
My dog is snoring. That's the first time. Sorry, I could hear this noise. And it's like, I turn around and he's snoring. It's like, seriously.
I've comatosed him. co-creating with my voice. I channel Jeff. In fact, my mediumship is semi-trance because I'm a physical medium. So I feel the spirit person. They get their illnesses, their ailments. Sometimes they have me pulling silly faces and doing silly things as well. And so I'll look at somebody if I'm doing an audience, because I do audience work as well. And I'll start pulling a silly face and they'll go, oh, that's my granddad, or that's this. So they physically come in. So that is trance as well. That is kind of a trance. Not full-on trance, obviously, but it's physical.
Do you have a guide? Like Eric has Teddy, and I have a few other friends who have guides.
Yeah.
Do you have
many guides?
One particular?
I've got Chan, who's my Chinese guide, who's been with me a very long time. I think they all have, really. But I don't really use my guides unless I am doing psychic surgery or healing. I see them then. I like to just work on my own. I keep it as simple as possible. If I've got 3 or 4 people I'm talking to, no, I'd rather just talk to the person in the spirit world. People say your guide's there. I'm not too sure. I don't know whether the guide's there or not, whether he's in the middle channeling. But I don't talk to him and ask him for help. Very rarely. I usually talk to my guide like they're my best friend. So I'm a bit of a free spirit myself, and I kind of do it all on my own, really. My psychic surgeon is Khan, and he has a guy who stands next to him by the name of Rob. And Khan looks like the Kentucky Fried Chicken man, if you kind of see him. Yeah, only with a turban on. And he always sticks his thumb up like that. If I say to Khan, "Am I all right, Khan?" he just goes like that, and I get the thumb. And Rob doesn't talk to me at all, because I think what it is that when you're in spirit, it's all telepathy.
Okay.
So if you're communicating with animals on the earth place, I can talk to an animal in somebody's room, and the animal can give me messages from spirit or general messages. So animals are already able to be telepathic, whereas as humans are using our voices. In the spirit world, you won't use your voice. It's knowing. It's like clear knowing.
It's because I guess there's a bit of as I say, a glitch when sometimes what we know, and then by the time it comes out of our mouth, there's things missing or things added because it's automatically it's human. That's what we do. So if you're just getting it, there's no waste of time. You just thought to thought, and that's it. So Jeff does channeling, and Jeff is channeling Hilarion. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly.
I wonder if Hilarion's funny.
Well, I think may not be. Yeah, that's Corinne de Winter.
Hello, Corinne.
Okay. I think she's trying to find out if it's another Teddy.
I also have, when I go through times of stress and major problems, which as a medium we don't have easy lives, I smell the cheetah.
Smell the cheater?
The cheetah is my Maasai warrior guide.
Okay.
And he comes in to kind of bring me stamina and protection. And he's beautiful. He's 7 foot tall. He's such a beautiful man. So I've got him. I've also got, because I'm a Reiki master in Terra Mesa Chem, which is Egyptian. So I've got Zor, who was my guide who brought me in with the Reiki. She's a mad witchy looking lady. And you know Pat Gamble, who I do the audiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got a Gamble, and it's a painting of my guide, one of my guides. And that's she kind of looks Arabic, and I call her Anna. And I tried to work with her, but she was doing that old horsey clicky noise that they do when they're talking, and it got on my nerves.
It's like, I like you, girl, but just push over there, please. Yeah. No, I could just imagine. Friend of mine, as a birthday gift, a group of us got together and paid her a reading with Patrick Gamble, and she got a Skype reading, and he did the portrait of her spirit guide, and it was exactly to what she knew. And it was totally amazing. I didn't get that. I got his cards. I got a signed deck of cards. He's one of the ones I want to get on the show, but Patrick's busy every weekend.
I was talking to Pat today. He wasn't that busy this weekend, to be honest with you. He's had a bit of time for himself, and he's coming down on the working together 30th of April. We're doing a show on the 1st of May. So he's coming down, and we're gonna. But when you do the audience with him, because there's not majorly amount of audiences with him, but he'll sit down, and he's got a guide called John. John was an artist.
Okay.
He's quite shy, you know. You wouldn't believe it. He sat at a table, and there was 35 people sat in front of him. It was a small room, and we filled the room. And he walked off somewhere, and I went, "What are you doing?" And he said, "They're all staring at me." All these people sat at his table ready to paint, and he got all these faces going, just staring at him, and he couldn't cope. So, but then when he gets working, he's like a little ratty scraping away, you know, and then there's me going off in the audience, and, you know, and then I'll look down, and he's hiding it. He won't show me. And I'm like, let me have a look. He won't show me, hiding the picture. And then it kind of got to the point where he did that, and I saw it, and I went, oh, whoa. And then you see him stand up, and he'll say, "I'm with you." He knows exactly who he's with. And it's amazing. It is. It's wonderful experience.
Well, hopefully in the future I can get him to come on our show. I think I have his cards. I think he is. Eric says he's ignoring me. Nobody can ignore me for long.
Yeah,
Sarah.
I know. Just like Jeff, I agree with you, darling. I do agree with you. I do think that Chan is probably my dad. But if I had my dad talking to me, I wouldn't believe him. So he's coming in the form of a Chinese man. That's what I believe. I believe they're somebody you really know. But
Okay.
they come in a different way. They're showing you something different, because if you already know who it is, well, some people probably do work with the grandparents or whatever, you're going to question it, which is going to affect the delivery. Whereas if it's something totally surreal, like a little Chinese man dressed in embossed green, you're liable to believe it. But as long as these guides are giving you validations and setting things up so that it will be validated in the future, not just there and then, you can undoubtedly say that they're not there. They are there. Something is there. We don't know, but something is there. Yeah, no, it's
questionable. Food for thought, that is it?
Yeah, it's questionable. I question everything. I'm probably your biggest skeptic going. I question myself, and I test myself as well. So if you've got a client testing me, believe me, I'll be testing myself a hell of a lot more than they will.
Okay. Eric says, no wrong way of connecting with spirit, just different ways of getting it right.
Yep, definitely right, Eric.
Spot on, Eric.
Definitely right. It's what you give in, and
but we all get different things in different ways, don't we? You know, it's not a matter of this is the way to do things, or you know, you've got to sort of cross yourself and dance 3 times around the chair. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know, because we are all different beings, and consequently, you know, I always used to feel really wrong because the things I pick up at times disgust me. You know, and I think, you know, I can't have this. But I've learned since over the years that what comes through is true. All you can do is accept it. And it's not the same as everybody else. You never will find 2 people the same.
You don't. And, you know, I've seen this in the groups. Some of them are brilliant at tea leaf reading. Some of them are really good at remote viewing. Some of them get the mediumship really well. They kind of, I can see where some may struggle in some avenues, other are better in other avenues. Yeah, it's just the way they're comfortable with working.
I think it's what you're thrown in with as well. I mean, one lady got on to me about her grandson had been abducted, and she was over in New Zealand. And believe me, she said to me, Brian, can you try and find him? I said to her at the time, well, yes, using remote viewing as well, linked in, and I could see the guy sitting in his car with a baby on his lap, and he was looking out across a rocky beach. And she said, no, the nearest rocky beach, she said, is 400 kilometres away. I thought, well, that's a long way. Anyway, I could see a little town. Through his eyes, I could see it, this little town with the lights on down the coast of it. And I told her that. Anyway, she got onto the police in Christchurch and told them. They got onto the police in the little town, and they went round and arrested the guy. So we know it's true, but it's the you didn't realise that I could put them all together, and whoosh, it was away. And since then, well, lots of success. So everybody is different. Everybody's got their own particular forte.
It can also be access to the information. Somebody may ask you a question, and you for some reason they're not meant to have the answer to it.
Yeah.
They rely on mediums too much. They rely on psychic readings far too much. But also,
you put restrictions on yourself as well. I had a woman from Nevada come through, and she said, she was building a room out the back of her house. She wanted to have it like a healing room, meditation room. And I said to her, no, it'd be no good there, because I said, you've got a railway at the bottom of the garden. I said, when that train comes through, you should build it in. So she said, well, using expletives that I cannot come out with on here, how did you know that there's a railway at the bottom of my garden? And I just said, well, I could see it, but you don't realise that you can do it until you've done it. And then you think, my God, that's just unreal. How can I improve on it,
It still shocks me now. I will never get my hat on over what's given. Good night, all. Okay, night,
Eric.
God bless Eric. Look after yourself, son.
Yeah. The information that you can get and the validations, and even I predict a lot of stuff as well. Because they say a lot of the church don't really predict. They cat people with the way they work, and they kind of tune them in certain ways. I do predict, because I think the people in the spirit world want to help us. You genuinely obviously they can't change your path, but I predicted many things that have happened.
I found that probably the oldest one here. I found that people say that you've got no comment there. Thanks, darling. I've found that people say you've got. I think that third eye is intuition. The intuition, it's like a band that goes right across your forehead. The more you use it, the wider that band gets. But in that band, I feel that there are multiple gates or doorways that you can go into. Now, you pick a certain doorway in your own mind, and that doorway becomes your particular forte. Now, if you try to use other ones, that becomes difficult, and then you start losing your own, we can say, self-analysis even, because you think, oh no, I can't do that, oh dear, I've done this so many times, it's unreal. Trying different things to go into other doors. I mean, there's probably 50 or 60 things that human beings can do.
Yes.
But what's been recognised up to now is very, very little. It's just a skim across the top.
It's the power. It's the belief you can do it.
That's it. That's it. Exactly.
I had a dowsing rod today, which I put. I haven't got it with me because it's at the shop. A couple of dowsing rods, cost £5. Broke a pen. Put the pen on the dowsing rod. I wasn't touching the dowsing rod at all. I do this at ghost hunts. I had the dowsing rod pointing at everybody in the room by name. Power.
Beautiful.
It's
But
power.
this is it is belief.
Yeah.
You know,
I
if your
could
belief
open
is strong
every
enough.
door. I could go in every door. If I start analysing myself, I'm wasting time.
That's it. You're dropping out.
I don't need to analyse myself. I just need to go and experience it, and work out myself whether it's working or not. And if I believe it, I believe in me and I believe in it, it works.
Yeah, that's it exactly. But this is it. It's a matter of clearing your mind, and you've got to get rid of all the old thoughts. That's the way I've always looked at it. You know, the things that your parents told you couldn't do, and don't be stupid and all that crap. You know, you've got to be able to push that to one side and be yourself. And it's 100% a self thing. You know.
I think, Brian, the reason why my groups are working so well and the reason why I'm working so well now is because I've broken away from all the takers. I've stopped giving to everybody, and I've been very hard with it. I've cut people out because I recognise the energy where people will naturally join in with you and the energy where people will stop you and hold you back. So
Yeah, they
those
do.
that stop me and hold me back, I completely cut them out because they're not good for me. I don't worry now about my groups disbanding. I don't worry about anything. I just enjoy it. And
It's the only
because
way.
I've broken away all of those fears and all of those worries, I feel, and I've loved myself, very, very paramount to love yourself, to put yourself first, be selfish, but I still have that empathic, caring, loving nature as well. So it's a win-win situation, and I feel because I do that, I'm not threatened by anybody or anything.
Yeah. That's one of my biggest problems, is that feeling all the time, you know, am I right? Am I right? You know, and I hate to be, well...
It's
You're your own worst critic, but
yeah,
it's everybody else around you who sees what you can do, even though you're sitting there, wow.
you only say that because I know exactly what
I think if I didn't believe in you, Eric, seriously, if I didn't believe in you, you wouldn't be here. The 3 points of light, when I created this group, I knew exactly who I wanted with me on it. And you and Jennifer were it. Even though you sort of sat there and I remember the first couple of shows you were like quiet, shy, sat back, didn't say anything. It's like,
that's the one.
Talk, child. You know? So, because I know you can do it. It's just, you have to, have that.
He just needed to feel comfortable.
That's it, exactly.
Environment.
It's also acceptance. It's acceptance, isn't it? You know, people, as it is now, people around me, that they accept the things that I can do, but other people are frightened to even come near me because in case I read them. And I think to myself, well, I never ever go around discussing other people. You know, it's always a matter of what I pick up is what I pick up. I know it to be true. Mm-hmm. Now, consequently, they don't know that. And I had one particular female not too long ago. There was about 6, 7 people sitting around in a circle, and I was sort of going around picking up from them. And one of them, I just said to her, that thing you had 20 years ago, you've got to let go of it. You do know this. And she burst into tears, just got up and walked out. She won't even talk to me now because I know what's going on.
She can't face
That's it.
Not you.
Can't face the situation. But she will come to it. I know this, because she keeps, as it is now when I go to her, I know full well that she keeps thinking to herself that I've got to go and see him. I've got to go and see him. But it's her to be able to pluck up enough courage to do it. I mean, I can't change her mind, but I can tell what's going on. So
you just need to be there and just move on in other directions and wait for her to come to you.
That's it. She knows where I live. I'm right next door to her friend, so there's no problem on it. I think it's just a matter of her having the courage to be able to just come up and say, "Tell me," and we can do it.
See, that's where the healing comes in. You see, Brian, the healing is about pinpointing a timeline. Within most readings, you're going to go through upsets on the time, and you just basically mention them. And you mentioning them is going to create a healing bubble.
That's it, break the ice.
they need to then have the courage to go forwards. Some will, some won't. Can't heal them all.
Oh, you can help. You can try.
Like Jeff in the chat room says, if we don't deal with things on this plane, we'll deal with them. We'll have them into the next.
That's kind of another fear-based teaching, Jeff. My view on that is bring it on. I'll do it next time. I'm gonna be, you know what, Jeff? We're here now. We can't wishful think in the future. We need to party now. And yeah, we probably are, but we can't do anything about it at the moment, can we? No. So why go into pain? Why feel like we have to deal with things and sort things out? We've just got to live. That's all we've got to do.
Just live. That's
live
it.
And love. Live and love. And we don't have to go into a torture factor because we're going to have a better life, because we're not there now. We're going to be there next time.
Why are you doing, Robert? I mean, you said just a minute ago that you don't know, and I'm scary. I'm not scary because the scariness only comes. Yeah, that's what I mean, Raven. Yeah, the scariness only comes from you. It's what's inside you. I mean, I've picked up on you so many times, and that's why I've said to you all along, Raven, you are a beautiful person. Okay, we've all got our little idiosyncrasies. It's a wrong way to put things, I think personally, because you are bringing it down to an earthly level. And you've got to realise, I think, I have found that you've got to go above all of that stuff. People think so many different. All right, you'll learn. And you move on from that. So you don't block anything at all from me, Raven, I can tell you. I tell you that right now. It's something that you can, once you can do it, you'll know. But you also learn to keep your mouth shut.
You weren't talking about me in that respect.
No. Jeff, you can talk if you want, mate. You've only got a mic up, mate. It's easy done.
I think Jeff knows how. Okay.
Oh, of course he does. Jeff and I have been mates for a long, long time.
Jeff, if you want to turn on your mic, you have to go back to turn off your headphones, and when it says share your mic, say yes, dear. See, now he's done it. Hey, man.
Hey, be careful.
There's still you're still outnumbered there, sweetie pie. It's me and Sarah. I still got that. Watch. There's that little button that says, kick Brian out the room.
Yeah. This is how it goes on all the time, Sarah.
Yeah.
It's a little repartee that Darlene and I have got, and I love it. I think to myself, well, it's so cool, Absolutely beautiful.
Right. Nella's in the house.
Yeah.
Not a naked Earth lady.
Yeah, naked lady, except for under her clothes. Native Earth, you big goony bird.
She'd be good with the red light.
Sorry?
She's a beautiful girl, I tell you. She is beautiful. She's got lots of worries, but she is really a beautiful person.
I was told the other day by the lady I do the push and wellbeing with, we had the fire service coming and they didn't turn up. So she got these little sticky notes. She's got this thing where she'll say, put a worry on a sticky note and we'll put it in the freezer. Freeze your worry. I have a major issue with it because I know it's very witchy, because I know I've been put in a freezer by a nasty witch, or tried to. They use these little spells, don't they? And she said to me, what's your worry? And I'm like, I don't know. Of course I've got worries. For me to put one down on a piece of paper, I couldn't do it. Maybe it's denial, maybe it's kind of, I'm too positive for that, it's not my way. But I couldn't do that. Hi, Native. Nice to see you.
Oop, I think he isn't.
You're not saying much, Nell.
No, Nell's just come on. She's keeping quiet until she figures out how to smack you. Jeez.
I must know that lady because she comes up on my Skype, the Native Earth lady.
Kathy
Oh,
Briggs.
she's lovely.
Who's
Kathy
that?
Briggs, yeah.
Kathy Briggs.
Oh, Kathy Briggs. Yeah.
I think you did something with, oh gosh, I think William, one of her shows, on Ghost Call Radio. You did a show with Bill, I think it was.
Oh, Bill Bowling.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I love Bill.
The Kentucky Fried Chicken Man.
Jeff, you're muted, mate. Go to the top and unmute yourself.
He can't. I have to.
There you go.
She has the power.
She has the power.
She loves it.
Yes,
I can hear you, Jeff.
Okay.
Hi, Jeff.
Sorry about. I think we got misunderstood there. What I was saying was that if we don't deal with things while we're on the human plane, when we go to spirit, we have to deal with it, because we can't become spirit suddenly carrying all the baggage from Earth. We have to clear it somewhere, don't we?
Don't look at it like that, darling. I don't. I'm going to live my life on Earth not thinking that I've got a duty or something to do when I go to spirit. When I go to the spirit, I'm going to be free, really free. Spirit, I feel you evolve a lot. You really evolve a lot. You don't have the human experience. It's a much higher experience that you have in the spirit world. So if you are going to deal with things in the next life, you're more than well equipped with that in spirit. And I don't really want to think about my next life. It might be my last life here. I'm living now. So I wouldn't worry about anything like that. I wouldn't worry about dealing with things. I think we have personal responsibility on the earth plane to recognise and deal with, sift as much stuff as we can. And I believe let go of the negative, don't go in the past, live in the now, and create a beautiful future to the best of your ability. Sail through your troubles and try not to worry. And if you think on those simplistic terms, you're going to not feel then like you've got a duty to yourself. That's my way, but then I'm just an optimist. Might be spiritual, it might just be optimistic, Sarah.
No, it's like, I think, like Eric said previously, there's many ways to connect. There's no right, there's no wrong.
That's fine, Jeff. That's fine. It's just not the way. I don't want to feel like that myself personally. And if I were teaching, I wouldn't teach that way. I teach the people that come to me to be free-spirited, to take on whatever's happening in their life. And yeah, heal it as well. Some things you cannot change. It's all your portfolio, and it's there anyway. You're going to tick all the boxes. The portfolio is there. Whether you try and amend it, ready for the next life, it's like, no, hard work. Hard work, that is. It's like Secret as well. You know, these manifestations, the teachings of if you manifest, if you do this, if you create this, you're going to get this. It's all blackmail thinking, and it's something I don't do. You work so hard doing The Secret. Blooming now, you lose the will to live. After you've mantraed all the things that you're supposed to say. It's all good. It is all good. And it's kind of, but I just think just live. It's just my way.
I don't agree. I think when we go to spirit, we look back on our life on earth and we look at all the mistakes that we've made and we learn from them. Because sometimes we don't have the ability on this earth to understand it all. We don't have that mind power.
But we learn on a different level.
I agree it's a different level, but we still have to deal with the issues.
No, I see it like a cartoon unfolding. Good and bad, good and bad. You will find there was a balance when you came into the world, and you will leave on a balance. I feel that we harp too much on about the negatives, and we're forgetting the positives. There's lots and lots and lots of positives. But I won't go into the negatives because I know there's balance, you see. So if I'm going to kind of try and make things right, they're going to balance naturally anyway, one way or another. That's the way I believe. And that's kind of, then that makes it easier for me then, because I believe the balance will come in. Like doing your bookkeeping, putting all your numbers in and arriving at naught. You've got your negative numbers and your positive numbers, and they will arrive at a balance. That's the way I see it. So I'm not going to go into doing any specific work. I'm just going to let it happen. That's the way I live my life.
But there are people on this earth who are carrying stuff with them that they shouldn't be carrying because it's in the past, as you say, but they still hang on to it. They won't let it go. They're
choosing. It's called responsibility, personal responsibility. Now I can see that, and I, as the psychic, as a medium, I can see I can't change the way they're thinking because that's the level that they're at. And you can bring the horse to water, but the horse isn't always going to drink the water. So there's levels of understanding, and some people like to live in pain, they like to hold on. Maybe they're fearful of moving forwards. Like somebody who says they're blocked, they're kind of, they don't want to be seen. There's something about, wanting to stay where they are, not wanting to deal with things. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It's something that I respect, and I wouldn't push. I know better, but they don't. Silence.
I'm not sure if he muted himself or not.
Yeah.
I think he is. Just as
fine, Jeff. Jeff, do you know what? You just do things the way that you feel is best. If you don't want to carry things through, that is perfect for you. Absolutely perfect for you. I just see things in a different way, and I live in a different way. That's all. We're all going to get there. You and I will meet in spirit, no doubt, at some stage, and probably smile and laugh at each other.
Oh yeah, we'll be sitting around the bar having a beer.
Sounds good to me.
Hello, can I have one too, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You don't do pubs in Canada like we do in England. I don't know what the pubs are like in Australia.
I was born in England. I spent the first 35 years in England.
Are you Londoner, are you?
No, I was actually born in Coventry.
Oh, you're not far from me then. Birmingham.
I lived outside London, in Surrey. Sorry.
Yeah, I picked up the London accent there. I do Nuneaton, Jeff. I do a lot of work in Nuneaton.
My father was a Cockney.
Was he?
Yeah, born and bred. So I do speak a bit London, yeah.
You haven't lost it.
Jeff, you went from London to Australia.
28 years in Australia, and now I'm in America. I've been here 7 years.
So, can I presume you prefer America, or is it just you having a different experience?
Sorry?
Do you prefer America, or is it just a different experience for you?
It was. I came here for a lady, of course, as one does.
Okay.
And he's staying for one.
To be honest with you, I couldn't afford to go back to Australia. It's so expensive over there.
Which do you prefer?
If I had the money, I'd live in Australia.
But
then I like the heat. I don't like the cold.
Oh, I wouldn't like the heat. I just wouldn't cope with that.
It's beautiful, believe me.
I'm sure it is, but I don't know whether I'd do Spain or somewhere a bit closer. I don't know. I don't know.
But Raven won't let me go now. She says I can't go back.
No, and she doesn't like the heat, so.
Oh, so Raven's your lady?
Raven's my lady, yes.
Ooh.
Live. You heard it here live on 3 Points of Light. Raven is just lady. No, you're supposed to curtsy, darling. And I bet you one Raven's blushing.
When Pauline saw the post that Jeff put on, she was ecstatic. Oh, they're together, and it's formal, and I kept on telling her that, this is going to happen. But, no, it's well done, Jeff. Well done, Raven.
Yeah.
Beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Jeff for a little while, and we've had a couple of conversations, and Raven.
Did they meet in here?
Not in this show. No, they left it there. Where did you guys meet? On
On Pal Talk.
Sock.
On Pal
Oh,
Talk.
Pal Talk, man.
Then in Sock.
Yeah.
Oh. We don't mention sock.
We don't. Not at all.
Yeah, I put them on my feet every morning.
Yeah.
No, I've been to Sock. It's every place that I've been to, that I go to, is a different experience, and there's things that I don't understand and things I don't care to understand. I just enjoy it while I'm there. I love my Jody White Wolf, so.
Yep, I think there's some very good people on Sock.
Oh yeah,
the concept is not running the way it should do.
No.
Some very good people.
It will.
That's why I walked away from it.
Yeah, exactly, Jeff. I've done the same.
Unfortunately, when you build up a rapport with people, that's where I was teaching over 16 people a week in SOC. When you build up a rapport with people and then you have an altercation with the proprietor.
Yes, we all have.
You come away and then everybody kind of gets lost in the way, but there's still some very good friends that I made. Yeah. And they're still asking me now, when you're going to be doing the teaching again. And I do want to teach online again. It's something I want to do, some international teaching. But I was in there doing it for nothing. And in life, you need to understand your worth. At the time, I was on the television. I was, so I've been used as kind of for who I was. But I am your girl next door. You know, when I worked on the television, a lot of the guys tested me. And there was a few ego people there, and ego's another argument because we've all got an ego.
Yes.
But I've always just been true, and I've kind of gone the slow way. You probably call me a foot soldier. I'd happily walk away from anything, no matter what it is. I don't care. If I wasn't happy, I would walk away.
Well, if you're looking to start teaching that you have the video aspect of it, I would suggest that you check out Intuitalks, where we are right now. They have
Intuitalks is great.
Ray and I have been talking about Intuitalks. So we're kind of going to have a look into it and see what it's about. Obviously, we need to play music. We've got to find a way of playing music.
I know that there is a way. There's another show that she plays music, and I think there are a few others that it's just that I don't have the time to figure it out. And I know it's probably I'll do it, and it'll probably be just flip a switch. And so I'm going to take a week's vacation and focus on doing this.
You would see us arguing on air.
Yeah, that would be
fun. At each other. And, you hear it on the radio, but you'll be seeing it on here. So we've kind of talked about having a look at it. Because I
highly recommend it. Go check it out, because it is, this is what I like about this format, is that up here, you see where it has the little Intuitalks thing with the microphone?
Mm-hmm.
The picture? You can also put pictures up there. Or do drawings, or, something that you've got. So you have that. And everything gets recorded. The camera angle, the little pictures, the chat room.
Wow.
And I think the only thing that doesn't get recorded is the users, unless they mark themselves into the chat room. But there are other people who do teachings on here, so.
Yeah. They were amazing, the stuff they were coming out with. A lot of it was typed to the chat room. I was on camera. I'd have a bunch of flowers and do some flower readings. They'd pick a flower and visually look at it. Doing all sorts of stuff. Week in, week out. Good 16 people coming in. And about an hour and a half, I think I was doing it. So it is something that I'd like to do. I need to find some time there.
Well, give us a nod when you do, Sarah, because I'll be with you.
Thank you.
We will definitely come in. Yes, you definitely do that.
Will do.
Jenny Davis, who actually owns and runs Intuitalks, she is a beautiful person, believe me. And everything I've asked her before, there's never anything that's too much trouble. She just says, "Okay, Brian," and it's done. And beautiful, beautiful person.
That's because she makes me do her dirty work and kick you out the room. Not true, Jenny. Not true. I'm only kidding. Because Jenny may not be here now, but she makes a point of always listening to every show afterwards. Because I always make her Sundays.
There's an old Australian saying, lady, that says, "Bite your bum." So
Bite your bum. Touche.
that's it. Yeah, go with it, girl.
Not either.
Get your teeth in that touche.
No, it's honestly, I love it. I love it. This is one of my favourite programs, and even though it is early in the morning over here,
Yeah.
well, not so early now, but it's well worth getting up for. So I love it.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, look into it if you want to connect. Because once you sign into Intuitalks, your very first friend will be Jenny Davis. She is the big mama. She is the wizard behind the curtain of Oz.
Yeah.
And she's cool.
And you can send her a message, and she'll pretty much answer any question. And they have a good team here.
That's good. You know, Blog Talk, it keeps cutting out. And I'm fed with sounding like a Dalek. Exterminate, exterminate.
It does.
Sorry, you sound like a Dalek, and I go, exterminate.
Oh, God. Do you realize that means Ray would be on camera as well?
Oh, yeah, cheeky Ray.
No, it's okay. We would make it. See, the thing is, whoever gets to be the owner of the site, we couldn't make the both of you owners. We have to. I'll talk to Jenny and just make you the owner, so that you be the one to kick him out of the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
really? No, he's a control freak. I can say that about him. I do joke. I do. I call him a control. He's not as bad as he used to be because I've hammered him down a fair bit.
Stop it.
We just joke. Knocking him out.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so there we go. You know what? I've got a Charlie with me. Is it with you, Brian?
It could well be.
Yeah, I feel like I've had a heart attack. Here? I haven't, don't worry. But I can feel a lot of chest pain here connected. And strangely enough, even though Charlie's a male name, and I feel it is male, he's got flowers. So I would probably say that he was good in the garden, or he loved his garden and he loved the flowers. Or somebody around you. I feel like a fatherly connection with this as well, you know. And although the heart, there was pain in the heart, it was really the chest, something to do with the chest. Where there would have been some kind of blockage there. Would you understand that?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. And he's talking about David. Do you understand who David is?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's talking about Maureen, Mo.
My sister, yes.
Yeah. And I have the name Penny with you as well.
No, I don't know.
Penny, hold on to it, because she may come in around you. And I have number 54. So 54 could be on a door, connected with a door.
54 North Hall Road, Barnhurst in Kent. And that's where I lived for many years. I was taken away from my parents and put down with my nan. And that's where she lived. And she taught me healing when I was 8. So.
Ah, wonderful. Charlie must have been around then. Well, Charlie's connected with you somewhere. But Nan had a bowel condition. She gave me some problem with my bowel. I can feel a problem in my bowel around your Nan and the stomach area.
I didn't know about that because people didn't talk about their personal problems in those days.
And I have the name Elizabeth, which could be Betty.
Yeah.
And
that's her sister.
She's going on about a strike. There was a strike.
That was a big coal strike in England.
But it must have affected somebody in the family because she's cussing about this strike.
Her husband used to drive the trains down from Northumberland down to London, and it was always coal trucks. So. Exactly,
because it's almost like that strike nearly was the end of us. But we saw it through. We got through it. She's shown me a lot of patterns here as well. Now, the patterns to me would be patchwork blankets.
Oh, I don't know anything about that one. That's new.
Who crocheted blankets or made blankets?
My Auntie Reen, which was my nan's daughter. My mother's.
I'm going there now. I'm going there with the blankets, crocheting the blankets. And I can hear Maggie May by Rod Stewart. I don't know who likes that record or what the connection is with that record. Wake Up Maggie, that one. Rod Stewart, somebody must be a Rod Stewart fan for some reason, unless Maggie May is relevant with you.
No, not.
Okay, hold on to that then. I never dismiss anything that's given. I always leave it with you to take away and find out what it is. And yeah, what's that? I don't get that because you're in Australia. But I'm still going to give it. I've got like some kind of old-fashioned fire. You know those Inglenook fire. It's got a pipe on it and a black bit with an open fire. Why have I got that?
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's there or in the past, I don't know, because I know you're warm enough there. Nice and toasty.
Especially in the past, but a friend of mine, he has got a beautiful, great one, sort of complete with the pipe and black stove and the whole.
That's it. In Australia?
Yeah.
Because I know in Australia, it's not in the past.
Yeah, but, you know, it all maps together, doesn't it, Sarah? You know, it's not a matter of you picking out on a particular time zone, because time is nothing to spirit.
No, you flip backwards and forwards.
Yes, it jumps. It's a matter of really remembering, that's all.
I do want to give you a cake with coconut and jam on it as well.
That'd be really nice.
I don't know whether you get them there. But you don't like seeded jam because I've just seen you spitting out the seeds. So you would fuss about that. All right.
Part and parcel, you know. I put up with a lot of things, to be honest, and I think myself, well, it's all meant to be.
I also have a Patrick around you, Brian. Do you understand who Patrick is?
No. I've come across a Patrick at all.
Where's he
going? Well, used to, yes. Hang on.
I can smell aftershave. He would have liked his aftershave. He was really vain.
Yeah, all he was. He was an Irish bloke who really, he went to school and this is back in the mid to late 60s. And he was a brilliant guy, really brilliant. He owned his own restaurants in London. And being Irish, he hated the name Patrick, and he hated the name, the idea of being Irish. So he went to elocution lessons and everything else. And well, his English language was better than mine. So, but it's exactly what you just said. He was really inside himself. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I think there's a new car coming your way.
Oh, bloody hope so.
Is the other one cranked out, or is it kind of making a noise?
Well, it is making a noise, yes.
Yeah, because I can hear like a clunk clunk. It's not an exhaust noise, it's a clunky noise. And I just have the feeling that kind of somebody's going to be getting rid of a car and they just want it off their back, and you're not going to have to pay much money for it. And it's a black car, and inside it's got cream leather. I'm quite pleased about that, because that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Especially where we live in. The fact that it's cream. Yours is big. I'm being told that the air conditioning works in this one as well.
Oh, great. My air conditioning is perfect in this. The only trouble is, I was towing a caravan around Queensland. We'd done 14,500 kilometres, and Ford had actually put in a bad back axle, and by the time I got back, it was wow,
clunking.
You know, it's it clunking. Anyway, not being able to afford to put it in for $4,000 worth. I thought, well, sod it, I'm a mechanic, I can do this.
Oh.
Anyway, I did it, and I pulled my back and pulled my sciatic nerve, and since then, I've been sort of out of it.
And this is where Jeff comes in. He's gone to bed, I think, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just feel there will be, even though you've done all the work on the car, there's a replacement vehicle there for you. Could be an automatic. I presume they're all automatic over there anyway. I don't know whether you're a bit proud and you like to drive a car, but I just get a sense to let the pride go.
Mm.
Yeah, like to do an automatic.
Oh no, I can drive anything. I used to drive semi-trailers and B-doubles and all the big, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And got a polecat. Now, a polecat is a ferret.
Mm.
Any ferrets in your past?
No.
A white polecat with this is an Aborigine, aren't they? They're the white one with the pink eyes. Got a white polecat.
Albino, yeah.
Aborigine. God, what am I on about? They're in Australia, aren't they? An Aborigine albino polecat. I just feel something about that polecat, which will become very apparent to you. And are you missing your cheese as well, Brian?
Am I missing my
cheese?
Cheese, I love cheese. Canadian cheddar. I used to have that in England all the time, but we can't get it out here.
And the Canadian cheddar is the darker coloured one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because I know you're missing your cheese. And I got a feeling some of that cheese is coming your way, you know.
Be lovely.
So you must have visitors coming from England. Now, how they would package a piece of cheese and get it there in good condition with all those hours, I really don't know.
Cheddar
I do know.
Travel will.
It's only 16 hours.
Yeah, you got your cheese coming.
Right.
And there ended. So there we go.
Thank you. That was nice.
Yeah. Nan loves you so much. She tickles the back of your neck on the right-hand side. So when you get, like I want to scratch now, when you get that energy of tickly there, that's her coming in around you, which is very gentle energy, just gently letting you know that she's there. I think she's very proud of you, and she's just given me the name Rose as well, Rose or Rosemary.
Yes, Rosemary, yes, a distant cousin.
Right, and she's given you a packet of pear drops, which is very English. Packet of pear drops rolled up in a bag. So there might be for your wife though. I don't know whether your wife likes the pear drops or there's some connection there.
Don't know, I haven't found that out yet.
White bag, old-fashioned sweet bag, pear drops in there, particularly the white ones. The white ones are more flavoursome than the other ones. Less cushy Nan like them, I don't know.
Possibly. My Nan was the only person that I ever felt any love from. Let's put it that way. She was beautiful. Absolutely a wonderful person.
Well, that's probably why she's singing Sugar Sugar. Sugar Sugar, you are my candy girl. I don't know why that's apparent with you. Mm-hmm. Sugar Sugar, but she's singing that. And have you had a problem with your nose? Because I feel like I've lost the sense of smell, and maybe I've lost the sense of taste in my mouth.
Lots of.
That's maybe why I want to give you a white pear drop. That's the significance of the white pear drop, to kind of bring that back.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You are so good. Absolutely unreal.
Well, you know, it's something I love to do, and the communication with the spirit is a privilege, an absolute privilege. And I love doing it. Absolutely love it.
We are the luckiest people in this world, I can tell you.
Yeah, and there's some people coming through me who are pretty good, you know, Brian, because I know I'll move on somewhere at some stage, because I'm very gypsy. I kind of don't do the same thing all the time.
Well, you know,
I have to have challenges, yeah?
Yeah, you know Eric that was on?
Yeah.
Well, his family were gypsies in England. Now, my forebearers were Irish, and my nan used to have an Irish brogue because she was the child of an Irish couple that came over from Ireland, and they were tinkers over there, you know, and they used to go around doing healing and meditation and all of that sort of stuff way back down, you know, when Adam played fullback for Jerusalem United. And you know, she was absolutely a beautiful person. You would not believe. She was a really big lady, and every time I saw her, she used to hug me in so tight, my head used to disappear between her boobs, you know.
The Irish are wonderful, wonderful.
You wouldn't believe.
I come from, my family are Irish, and when you're like, you know, the builder's calf I was telling you about, the Irish guys that come in, I love them. They've got good manners. They're charmers. They've got good manners, and they will always come in the kitchen and bring their plate and say, "Thank you very much. I really enjoyed that."
Yeah.
And yet, they're lovely, honestly. And they left to go and work somewhere else, and they're coming back on Tuesday to pick up the tools and come and say goodbye to me. Some of the English ones grunt at you. You know, and not all of them. You've got some good and bad in every, but the Irish ones, they're so lovely. Really are. They order their meal in time because they know that you're going to be busy. They think about you, you know, and they fly over from Dublin, the lads do, into England to work on the sites, and then they'll fly back to Dublin. So they come and live in England for a while they're working.
That's it. No, they are beautiful people. I've had a lot to do with Irish people, you know. Even in factories, they were beautiful. Yeah.
So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed that, Brian.
Thank you very, very much, Sarah.
That's a big pleasure, darling. Believe in yourself, Brian.
I'll try.
Just do it. Just do as you're told.
Yeah. See? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for this, Sarah. In the chat room, Supernatural Radio, aka Corinne DeWinter, would like to know. She can't come on mic there, but if she would like to know if she could get a reading from you, and she can answer you in the chat room.
My lips are going. Somebody does that around you, darling. Somebody does that. There's tears as well here, but there's also stingy eyes. So there's she's a lady or a gentleman, I don't know. Show yourself to me. Blue eyes, very bright blue eyes, very stingy, very sore eyes. This person that I have with me in the spirit world.
This is for Corinne.
Who's this with? Is this supernatural?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Corinne, sweetie, I feel very sick in my tummy and pain in my tummy. Now, when I get pain in my tummy, it means somebody would have had a cancer condition, but it doesn't mean it was in the stomach. It could have been in the body somewhere, but the stomach pain is always a cancer condition. So there would have been a gentleman connected around you who would have had a cancer condition in the spirit world. And he's given me 1966, so this will be significant around you somewhere as some kind of a memory link. They're saying angels and demons, so I don't know whether that's a bit of a joke with you. I don't know which side would go in, the angels or the demons. I don't really believe in demons, to be honest with you, my darling, but, you were born in 66? Wow. See, I've even shocked myself. I shock myself more when I see it written down, because when you see it written down, it's more believable.
Yeah.
Here's somebody's voice. It's actually written down. That is proof, isn't it? And it's in capitals as well, because you're born in 1966. That person's still doing the lip sync here with me. So this is somebody who, I don't know whether they were gurning, but somebody who pulled really ridiculous faces in the spirit world, and kind of didn't know they were doing it. Almost like we'd go into one, and maybe we'd do this at the dinner table. You're functioning very well is what I want to say to you, Corinne, that you are to stay on the path that you are on, okay? There's been something that's been wanting you to kind of come off your path and go in another direction, but I feel you've still got plenty of work to do where you are, and I feel you're going to kind of enjoy it more now, okay? So just stay on that path just for a little while, because I know you'll detour off, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. I also have a Diane linking around you. Whether you know a Diane either on the earth plane or in the spirit world, there's Diane there linking around you, sweetheart. And I also have Helen or Ellen linking around you as well. Okay. Lady in the spirit world is saying to me, bottle of troubles. Now, don't think that's a particularly good thing to do, but it's almost like put a lid on it for now. Okay. Maybe there's a truth you need to speak, but it is not going to serve you to do that now. So kind of let it go, have a bit of patience, grow the love within, really important with you. Yeah. I have the month of May linking with you. I feel this is an anniversary of some sort. I feel it links around a gentleman in the spirit world. And I feel this is a gentleman in the spirit world that would have had the cancer condition. Somebody's saying son. Now, I don't think your son has got cancer, but they're saying son. So I'm wondering if you have a son. Would you understand where I would give you a son, sweetheart?
She has no children.
I got 32 around a son, 32. Do you understand a boy or a man who's the age 32? Or is the one past, sweetie, is the one that maybe passed through? Would be 32 years old now? Okay, darling. It's, when it's Nicole, and this Nicole is 32 years old. Oh, sweetie. You're going to brought something up from the past there, but I just feel it's part of me kind of recognising that with you on a healing vibration for you, to say you've never forgotten and you've never been forgotten. You've never been forgotten. I've grown all around you. When I come around you, there may be a lemony kind of smell. I don't know why I get a citrus lemony kind of smell around you. But I do wonder if lemon was connected around clothing, connected with this child. Lemon or something lemon connected, but this isn't a flower. This is a piece of clothing or a cloth or something or a teddy, but it's lemon or yellow. Okay, and because of this, I bring you the smell of the lemons. If you haven't smelt them in the past, I think they're going to come in around you, and it's almost like snuff. You love the lemon smell. So this is the memory of the child, okay? It is the memory of the child. And lemon is a cleanser. It's an amazing cleanser. You use it cleaning your house, yeah? Don't know whether you do or you don't. I've got a deformed finger here. I haven't got a deformed finger, but on my right hand, I would say the index finger is deformed, or somebody's got an issue, or maybe even an arthritis or something in that finger. Right hand, it would be the wedding finger on the left hand, but it's not the left hand, it's the right hand. Okay, it's almost like I want to get a ball, a stress ball, and do some exercises with that hand. So this will connect around you or somebody very closely around you. You are a brilliant mother, darling. A brilliant, brilliant mother. Mother to everybody. Mother Earth, Gaia, but you are somebody that would go and children would just come to you. You are mother to everyone, but you are mother particularly to children. Yes, the adults come to you, but you kind of have got this thing about looking after the children, which I believe in too. I love children. They are our future. We need to respect them. Yeah. And we need to kind of engage them and enjoy them. And I've never grown up. I'm 51. I would never grow up. I love the child energy. Why not? And I just want to bring that child energy around you, Corinne. Yeah. Who was in the Marines or the Navy? Ships and water. You're 51 too. How spooky is that? You've never grown up as well. But I was born in 1965, not 1966. Where's the Marines? Where's the man in uniform? Where's this man in uniform with the white cat. It looks very English actually, but I'm being shown English here. The marine, the man with the white cap, something to do with the forces connected around you. I want to give you the name John, Corinne. Do you understand who John is? Not sure. That's not sure is good. I'm okay with not sure. But do think about it. Maybe you'll have a eureka moment. That's the disadvantage of typed words. When people, you can hear their voice, you can hear their thinking. Okay. John, do you understand who John is? John may be in spirit or he may be on earth, but I don't feel he's too far away from you. So if he's not in the spirit world, he will live near you. He'll live near you somewhere. He could be a neighbour. He could be somebody who's connecting with you. I feel if he's connecting with you, we're looking towards the month of June where there will be a connection there. And I feel you're on the same vibration as this, John. Okay. So somebody who is, I'm going to say wacky like you. I don't know who you are. There's something wacky about you. Darlene's laughing. I must have got that right. Okay. Wacky and kind of, I'm not going to use the word weird, so I don't know whether you call yourself weird. Do you know what I mean? You're not. You just
a softie.
A very open mind. You do. You call yourself weird. Don't do that.
But a good kind of weird.
It is. We're all weird as spooky people. I do say to the people that I teach, most people, when they're mediums, they think they're mad. Well, you are. They're like, oh, you're mad. So, because you've got to be mad if you're talking to yourself, haven't you? It can't be right, can it? I'm joking there.
It's an expert opinion, darling.
It's when you answer yourself, you're mad.
That's when you got the expert opinion.
But I do. And that's where I think it was Jeff was saying about the higher self. We're really talking to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Corinne, I want to tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Oh no, I'm mad.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, you're not. Very slapping the thighs. I'm not going to sing it. Spirit telling me to sing it, and I am not going to sing it. Don't push me. Don't push me. Okay. Do you understand any of the name of Mac? Song was popular. Mac. M-A-C, Mac. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Mm. You know when you've had too much to drink? Well, I do. And they say the next day you wake up and your mouth feels like the bottom of a budgie's cage.
Hey!
Don't know where that's come from, but it's who's had the birds? Who had the birds? You didn't hear that. Who had budgies or birds? Birds in cages. No. Okay. I can see birds in cages. There's 2 birds in cages. Are they doves? I don't know. I know they're white, so I'm presuming that they are. But I can see 2 birds. You did before. That's in the past. Then good. Okay. Right. What do you want to know? Is there anything you want to ask me? Got number 11 around you before you.
Supergirl, did you have a question in particular for Sarah May, or you just wanted general?
Yes. X's are X's for a reason, sweetheart. It was a destructive relationship. Not in the way that he was necessarily violent, but I feel there was a control element there, but the control was about emotions and feelings, not kind of toying with you and playing with your feelings. And I think that you're worth a hell of a lot more than that. And I think you need to set the bar. I think you need to decide what you want, kind of person that you want, and do not make any allowances. And that is not saying that the people around you aren't good enough. It's just you having the right match for you. Do you understand? We're all different. You're not one that would like flowers, but I feel the gentleman who comes in around you will give you flowers. And I think you should graciously accept them and say thank you. Because it's a beautiful gesture, isn't it, Darlene? To give somebody some flowers. And it's not about kind of, you find it difficult to receive, so you need to learn to kind of break down your barriers a little bit, darling, and allow somebody to come in. Somebody said something interesting to me. Shelley, who sits in one of my groups, who's been with her husband for 15 years. And the girl said, how did you meet him? And she said, I decided that if any man asked me on a date, no matter who he was, I was going to say yes to him. So she said yes to a lot of men. And she went on a lot of dates until she met her husband. And he wouldn't normally be her type. He didn't look her type. He wasn't her type at all. But he asked her on a date, and she went on that date with this man. And she's now been married to him for 15 years. So these are the words I want to share with you. Trial and error.
But the guy who likes me and sent me flowers is 400 pounds and in a wheelchair. No offense.
It's not that guy.
Don't worry, it's not him.
Not him. You're not him. I'm drawn to John. Definitely drawn to John. I wonder if there's a naval connection with the guy that's coming in around you. I wonder if the guy that comes around you had a uniform on. He doesn't. Oh God, his name's John. My God.
Okay. Ask John if he's in the Navy or if maybe he's got a brother. Maybe he's got a brother.
That might be why he's in a wheelchair. Sarah, don't.
Okay, behave yourself, girls. He also inherited $31 million.
Now, I like John.
A brother who's in the Navy. God.
Dearie me.
Okay.
Oh, dearie me. How funny.
Well, I can tell you one thing about Corinne de Winter. She is a big giver. Yeah. So she has a hard time accepting, but she gives oodles.
It's so hard. You know, Corinne, I've been single for 7 years now. I'm selfishly quite happy with my little home with my kids. No smelly man. Sorry, Brian.
And Alex, but they both,
of course,
only one thing to say about that, Sarah.
Don't make me kick you out.
Oh, you'd have my daughter to compete with there, Brian. Yeah.
No,
so, oh, how funny. So do you know what? You kind of, I'm not letting anybody in. Just tell you what, my daughter wouldn't let anybody in. She won't let me have a boyfriend. Like, what? I've got no. She said, no, Mummy, I want you all to myself. Bugger. So selfish children are.
Sometimes they're all knowing as well, believe me.
Oh, my daughter's very psychic. She's spooky. I'm spooky. She's really spooky. Oh, Alex. How funny. I think Spirit are having a bit of a giggle here.
Yes.
I am anything but a gold digger. I've dated paupers my whole life. Dearie me. Do you know, I'm not going to deter. I know I've picked up John around you. I still got John. But I've got the Navy. Giving flowers is common. Okay, the guy in the wheelchair, he's got a lot of money, a lot of inheritance.
Name is John. But
I know. Was it funny how I was saying my friend dated everybody and said yes to everybody? You know. And this is like the scenario of somebody that you probably wouldn't want to say yes to for many reasons. But maybe you need to connect in some levels there, but make your feelings very clear. No reason why you can't go on dates. If somebody is showing you respect, you could be friends, but there is a relationship coming around you. You know, you could have the cliche, which is again the fear factor teaching reading, which is you will only get somebody if you drop your barriers. No. There will always be somebody. There's always the bad guy which will penetrate a barrier. He'll make you laugh, and then he'll woo you, and then he'll give you nothing. So you've got to kind of be very selective as to what's being given to you. And you've got to almost like tick the box and say, yeah, that's good enough, that's good enough. No, I don't quite like that. Because this is your future you're talking about here, sweetheart. It's very important. Also, could you get yourself out a bit more? Could you go out and kind of go into some different groups? Yeah, kind of, I go out and I do things, you know. I would go to the pictures on my own. I would go to a spiritual church on my own. I would quite happily do that because I'm happy within my own company and I could choose who I do and don't want to speak to. So you don't have to have a partner or a friend to go out with. In fact, sometimes they hold you back, you know, because you've got to look after them. To get out a bit more is really important for you, darling. Let's say John. Let's say June. Let's say the 25th. The 25th is a karmic date for you coming in 2017. I don't know which month it's in. So you're going to go by every 25th and tick it off. All right. But there's also a tattoo on the top of my back here. There isn't on mine, but somebody's got a tattoo on the top of the back. And I'm going to say it's a dolphin. Somebody's got a dolphin or a fish or something on the top of their back, there on the back of the shoulder. Maybe the guy that was in the Navy. You never know.
Find John in the wheelchair. Look at his back.
I hope he's got brakes. Anyway, we are naughty. I hope that was good for you, Corinne.
Now, I know, Corinne, if you have any other questions, just pop them in there. She's good. Thank you, Sarah. I know we're a little bit past the end, but I've had somebody who's been waiting ever so quietly. Would you have anything for Native Earth Lady Nell, aka Kathy Briggs?
Kathy. What have we got for you? I've got a slow connection coming in here, Kathy, so just bear with me, because they're not showing themselves straight away to me. So I'm just waiting for some kind of a sign. As I'm waiting for the sign, somebody's not sitting quietly.
Alex said Nell doesn't sit quietly.
Well, the sign I've got is a banana. So I want to eat a banana.
Oh.
Maybe I just want to eat a banana.
I'm not even going down that track, I can tell you.
Maybe I'm hungry. I don't know why that is. Are you there now? Do you like bananas? S without the Y. And there comes in the Y. Yes. Oh, is there really an inside joke with Nell and bananas? It really? I'm glad they don't tell me everything.
Oh yeah, there is that inside joke with the banana. So let's, yeah.
You a lonely lady.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear, they are joking now. The ripe green ones are best, they're telling me. Anyway, I digress. So that's why I wasn't getting a message. Okay. Who's there, please? Who's there? Okay. we had a bit of a joke there. There's a gentleman in the spirit world who would have been angry on Earth. Got a fiery temper. Really angry. I feel like I'm going to explode and go mad. And he wouldn't be like this in the spirit world. He certainly wouldn't be like this in the spirit world. He's on about Dougie or Douglas. Douglas has been connected around you somewhere. No? Would you understand Douglas, or is it an area maybe, or a road? I don't know. You do understand. And you do understand the fiery man. And he's kind of like, you know, when we talked with Jeff earlier and I said that you see when you go to spirit, like, you know how cartoons are made and you kind of go like that. You kind of see the way you've been. And on the earth plane, you couldn't or wouldn't change it. And there would have been a pride around this gentleman where he wouldn't have let his guard down. But in the spirit world, he's feeling it and seeing it. You know, this is where you can't learn your lessons on earth because you're in with that personality. He's seeing the effect he had. He did have an effect. And he is humbly saying, I am very sorry. So he had an effect on you, sweetheart. Right? One way or another, I don't know. He feels like a fatherly connection here. But he's talking about a robber. Do you understand who... my ex, is he the father of your children then? And would you understand who Robert is? Rob or Bob? He's got a bit of a sense of humour now, sweetie. Because I've just said to him, you're better than the banana. No, the banana's better than you. Got that the wrong way around. Just to tease him because I can. I can taunt him like Darlene can taunt Brian with the button. I can taunt the spirit man. No, we had a child that passed. Okay. I don't know why I want to call that child Robert, or I have a Robert linked around you now. Definitely have a Robert linked around you. Okay. What's that then? What's that? The Dirty Dozen? Isn't The Dirty Dozen a film? Mm-hmm. Isn't that a cowboy film? And I don't know whether somebody... Is it army?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's The Dirty Dozen I can see there. Alright, so I know about The Dirty Dozen, that's all I can say to you. Yes, okay, thank you. He's telling me you were always so very charming. I don't know whether he's being sarcastic or whether he really means it. But he's saying you were always so very charming, okay? And you kind of, 18 years, he's giving me this 18-year thing here. So whether you were with him for 18 years or 18 years is irrelevant, or 18, I don't know. We just said 18 years. And he's shown me the garage door is kind of slightly, that was your age, the garage door is slightly bent. So it's almost like when I'm going up in this garage door, it's like, can't get it bloody open. And it's a struggle with this garage door. Yeah? Past, present, future, I don't know. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, darling. Are you saying, can I come and help you? Now, my view with that is, yeah, you know, you help the man to make amends. Help him to make amends, because that's a really healthy thing to, because he's in a different dimension now, okay? You know, when you go to spirit, good, I'm glad you forgave him, because when you go to spirit, forgiveness is in, it just dissipates. It's understanding, it's a level of understanding and growth. I can see you are already using your spiritual prowess now, where you've forgiven and you've let it go, and which has freed you up. So he's saying now, can I come and help you, please, if you will let me? Yeah? So that's a lovely balance there. You see the balance we talked about earlier? Who's helping you from the spirit world. Okay. And he's saying to me, Tony will be good to you. So I don't know who Tony is. But he's saying to me, Tony will be good to you. For male, female, male, I don't know. Tony will be good to you. And he's telling me that he sends you flowers in February. So something significant about February. And I'm around the 15th there. around the 15th of February, where he's giving me this idea of sending you the flowers. You don't get it, just hold on to it, remember it, and just wait and see what transpires. Because, yeah, I know you can say not sure, because the Spirit will give you something to come. Because what they will say to you is we are with you in the future. We are not just with you now in the medium. Yeah? A lady in the spirit world is coming in very closely here to me now. And she is... Who are you, darling? Who are you? Do you understand Dot or Dorothy? Dot or Dorothy? Sometimes I ask them who they are and they give me somebody else's name. It would be somebody around you. Dot. Doris, Dot or Dorothy? Dot. With 2 T's there. It must be important if Dot's got 2 T's. And then, as I've said that, I'm drawing myself to say dotting the I and crossing the T's. Because you put 2 dots there, 2 T's there. Crossing the I. So there's a contract coming up. All right? I can see a contract coming up. I can see you signing something. I think there's about 6 pages on this contract. I think you'll read it, and I think it will be something that you really want. You know, I feel this is really positive for you. And I'm being drawn in the month of May, between the 23rd and the 28th of May, for you to watch for this to come around. All right? Because with you, sweetheart, I feel there's changes coming in. I feel you're a healer. You're a big healer. Okay? It feels to me like you want to teach healing. It feels to me like you want to do life coaching, that you're an empath, and that something has always held you back. Okay? I've just closed a room down in Shirley where I do my work, because the bloke downstairs is driving me bloody mad. The one who's a bit controlling. Do you know what I mean? And I got to the end of my tether. He took my fuse out of my heater. And the Spirit told me he'd done it. And I said to him, if you took my fuse out, no. And I looked at him and I said, I'm psychic. So I said to Spirit, shut the room down, please. I need another room. Within days, my other rooms come up. I should do it more often, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
I should ask for millions, but I don't.
No, next time ask for my new house, okay, for next month, next year.
I endure because I think I like pain. I think it's me.
Glutton for punishment, darling.
Yeah, pain is a challenge. I'm used to pain. If I haven't got pain, God knows what I'd do. Do you know what I mean? So I'm used to just going, resisting and kind of fighting. But sometimes I'll say, I want another room, and I've got one. Yeah? So this is where I'm going with you. It's not about manifesting. Let's get this idea of manifesting out of everybody's heads. It's about actually creating the reality. And the only way you're going to create the reality, Darlene's having a sneaky eat there. The only way you're going to create the reality is to just do it. Now, if you have a fear of failure, let go of it. Allow yourself to fail. I've learnt so much from failing. I love it. Because there's only one way, and that is up. Let's take these moves towards group work, financially paid group work. Could be online. And I know it's something you really want to do. And I know there's a few kind of shady areas, but the shady areas are basically the fear of the unknown. Because working with Spirit, sweetie, is like going in the fog, following us. That's exactly what it's like. And all you have to do is follow the light. That light will never, ever go out. That's self-belief and trust. Believing in yourself. Believing that everything will be okay. And you will have enough. But I know you will have more than enough. Much more than enough. And I feel it's this gentleman in the spirit world, even though there's a lady that came in connecting with me, Dot. This gentleman in the spirit world is the one who really helped this to happen. Do you know why? Because he can and because he wants to. Mum's Dot, how lovely. So got your husband and your mum. Who could want anything more? Who could need anything more? You don't want or need anything. Did Mum have green eyes? She's shown me green eyes, or she's shown me somebody with green eyes. She's a beautiful lady. Really beautiful lady. She's a very graceful lady. She was a polite and quiet lady. I think she endured a lot herself. And I think with her, she kind of, you see, I've taught my children how to speak up, stand up. And I've shown by example where I had a controlling relationship, I cut it and I said to them, that isn't healthy. With your mom, it was almost like, I'm not saying your dad was nasty here, but in general, your mom's kind of stature was to be a polite, lovely lady and keep everything within. And she doesn't want this for you. She was, wasn't she? She doesn't want this for you. She really doesn't. She's kind of saying, speak out. Speak out. Have you got a singing voice? Why do I want to hear you singing? Unless you're singing in the shower. Darling, you got a singing voice. I think you got a beautiful singing voice. In fact, we should have you on singing. Do you do the karaoke? Who sings New York, New York? Why have I got New York, New York? Those vagabond shoes. Unless New York is relevant. But I feel singing New York, New York. Are you there, my lovely?
She's thinking.
Mm.
But yes, she has an amazing voice. I don't know about a singing voice, but the song New York, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about a singing voice, but she has a very voice. She has a very big voice about what she does. She's not afraid to.
Maybe New York is relevant with you then. But Frank Sinatra, New York, New York, was a song I could hear being sung. But it isn't Frank Sinatra that's singing the song. It's either you or somebody else. And it's on the karaoke machine. I can also see a spirit level here. And I think, are you in America? Is she in America, darling?
No, she's a Canadian.
Canadian. Do you have brick-built houses in Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I thought. If she's in America, I can't see why. I can see a spirit level. But who's the builder? Builder. Hello, doggy. Who's the builder? Have you got a wall to be built? Don't know. Who's that builder then, please? I got the name Derek. Do you understand who Derek is? I can see Derek building a wall. So maybe this will be around you. Or maybe you get chatting to a Derek who's building a wall. There's also somebody in spirit who was a drinker, because I feel like I've had a lot of alcohol here. And I feel a little bit drunk. And I haven't even had a tipple. Derek is your nephew Roger's side. I smell alcoholic fumes going down my nose.
Roger is her husband.
Okay. Roger's a great thinker. Not a great talker, but he's a great thinker. He's deep. I've just been given the words, Roger's in spirit.
Yes.
Given the words rosebud. Why have I got rosebud? Was it kind of a nickname for somebody? No, don't know. Doesn't know rosebud. Give me something else. I don't know what 2020, isn't that something to do with vision? What's 2020? Has somebody got to have an eye test? Yeah. Did you have a beard? Because I feel like I want to scratch my chin. Here. Yeah. Interesting. You're going to be given kind of a blank check to develop something. Okay? So something you're going to be given, and it'll be, okay, we're saying a blank check. It really isn't a blank check, but it's almost like there's finances available. I do wonder if it's connected with government or connected with a large agency where you will create something. I don't know when this is coming in, but I can see this around you. Have you got a good pair of legs? Because somebody's just gone... Unless I got that bird in the cage again. They were. I'm sure they still are, young lady. Wasn't me.
Nor me.
Okay.
You know who the hound dog is.
Is to just do it now. Yeah, Kathy. I think it's Kathy now. I'm not too sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions, sweetie? I knew you'd be humble. I knew you would be humble.
She is.
And I knew there was a question. Because when I say to people, are there any questions, there usually are questions. I don't say it to everybody. But hopefully you've had enough from what's been given to you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, I am going to say thank you very much, Sarah. You went way past the time that we normally, but I always have leeway of time that we have on the show. So thank you for the readings that you did. Thank you for coming on. Please know that you're welcome to come back anytime. And do connect with Jenny and see about coming on here. And when you do get your show here on Intuit Talks, you will let us know and we will have everybody come on over.
I will be there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and to everybody.
Thank you very much, Sarah. You're really one above all, I can tell you.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you, everybody in the chat room, for hanging tight, for the questions, for the awesomeness of just being here. And we will see you next week. And I can't remember right now who next week is, but I'll figure out how to tell everybody everything. All right. I love you all. Night, everyone.
Bye.
Bananas.